So, let's look at the daily challenge today. So, the scores seem to be in the 84,000 ranges. So, flying kills seem to be possible, but only barely. Our clans are gonna be Umbra and Melting Remnant, which is always a nice combo with the morsels dying and Melting Remnant having a lot of effects that trigger on friendly unit deaths. We also have Mention +2 capacity on each floor, which makes it a lot easier to use things like Harvest and Gorge on the same floor and still have room for morsels, for example. We have Chunked Up, so we start with 8 calcified embers in the deck. This will make our early game a lot harder, and I might forego bottom floor kills on the first and second combat just to be able to play out more calcified embers, because that should pay off in the long run. And finally, there's Brawl. Friendly and enemy units get +5 attack and +10 health. Our Pyre gets +10 health, so that means our morsel strikes, the low capacity units, are gonna be uh, comparably strong, uh, especially with Mention that allows us to stack a lot of them on the same floor. Welcome, tryhard only. So, let's jump into the game and see what we get. Packed Morsel, Stripfall and Grovel. This is already a pretty powerful set of cards to start out with, especially considering we have Mention as one of the daily modifiers. Hi Hidden Away, welcome. And right from the get-go we get two very powerful artifacts here. But I think I have to go with Winged Steel, especially with all these calcified embers in the deck. Some additional draw to draw past them is gonna be very nice. So, we do actually see the two Penumbra versions I am considering to play here. Architect would be a bit overkill with Mention, so I would probably avoid that one. Considering we already have two packed morsels and a grovel, the Glutton seems very exciting, especially with Mention. But the Monstrous is also quite good with Mention, because that means we can get his final upgrade without ever having to worry about capacity. But considering my starting cards, I think I am gonna go with Glutton. Non-boss enemies enter with Spikes 3. Let's set up Penumbra at the top floor so we have maximum time to prepare. I will also consume one of the purge one of the calcified embers. Let's start growing Penumbra. We will miss out on the collector. There's not much we can do about that. And these tracks are actually kind of ready to lay the pain on this Forged Disciple, get them, make sure our Penumbra has the power to kill them. And these morsels will guarantee the kill on the Trusted Priest. I think I do want to keep the packed morsels in the deck. I will play out the calcified ember here. This morsel can actually tank the damage here and steal a significant amount to the forge, to the guardian here, forge disciple. No morsels this turn, but I do want to kill the trusted priest, otherwise we will take damage to the spikes. And our penumbra is big enough to deal with the boss, so I will just deploy 2 train stewards to kill the priest. Another train steward on this floor. And now we try to play out as many calcified embers as possible. I could also get the 2-turn boss rush by drip falling my penumbra down to this floor. That would actually work. I'm not sure if I want to do that or if I want to purge another calcified ember from the deck. We managed to purge 2 of them. Yeah, I think I do want to purge another one. Even though I'm gonna lose 100 points here. 100 points isn't that much, and this might make a significant difference. The fewer of them we have to purge in the later combats, the better off we are. Ember Forge, Space Prism, Immortal Trade. I would honestly not mind an Ember Forge to generate some additional Ember while we have these calcified Embers in the deck. Space Prism seems unnecessary, but they would help if we wanna use something like a harvest unit on the same floor as a gorge unit, for example. I do kind of like the Ember Forge here, but it's not a priority draw, so we might get it kind of late. I will still take it though. I think it's worth it. Intent on Death just for the collectors, probably not. And the other 2 are garbage. Well, at least for our deck right now. The healing spell, it has some value. Unit upgrades for the Ember Forge aren't that important. But I wouldn't mind a harvest unit here. Other than that, spell upgrades, I wouldn't mind consume removal on the packed morsels. Double stack is a bit harder to utilize. I could put it on the grovel, but I wouldn't be very happy about it. Although the damage shields are a lot better with Brawl because the hits they block are more significant. So maybe it's spell upgrades, because we have a good target for most of these cards. Holdover Grovel. It's a bit expensive. Holdover also means I need to cost reduce it basically, because playing a 2-cost card every turn, that's a bit too much. Still pretty solid. It's gonna take care of a lot of our defensive mechanics. Permafrost, nope. Permafrost is not that interesting to me. I will cost reduce Dripfall. And Purge. Do I want to purge anything? No. These cards are actually kind of decent right now. I will save the purging for later. Enemies enter with armor 10. Looks like we should be okay setting up on the 2nd floor. Let's look at the mortals first though. Double lifesteal. So that's 6, 12, 16 attack for Penumbra, so we hit for 41, which is not quite enough to kill the frontliner, but it's close. We might get there. And I do want to get this calcified ember out of here. I probably should have played the mortals first. I forgot that I didn't trigger the winged steel yet. This drag is just gonna die here on the bottom floor. Let's start setting up on the top. Well, it's gonna die on the top floor as well. But at least we get the collector before it dies. We need some additional damage here. It will prevent us from having a lot of space to gorge with. But we do need the damage on these guys. These drags will die soon enough. And then we need some power on the top floor to take care of the reconciler. After that. Here's our holdover grovel. I can use a lot of morsels this turn. I do want to play the morsels up first to see our draw. I could play a calcified ember this turn. But we are lacking damage on this reconciler right now. So we play some more morsels. I think once again I want to focus on getting calcified embers out of here. These reconcilers are actually quite scary because they deal 6 a turn and we can't really focus on them. So I might want to play grovel here to get some more power. Let's see, the enemies deal 20 a turn, so we have 2 turns of attacking. That would be only... No, we would also take the spike damage, so 22. Yeah, we can't currently beat the boss, so we need some more power. Oh, we drew into the grovel again. It's very helpful. Now with the additional damage shield and lifesteal, we should be okay. Let's hope we can get another calcified ember out of the deck, but it doesn't look like it. Because even if we draw it here, we lack the energy to play it. Maybe I should have played it last turn and tried to grow Penumbra this turn, but honestly we are on a decent track to get these calcified embers out in a timely manner. Mind Collapse versus Space Prism versus Prismal Dust. Prismal Dust is a bit better because we do have the Ember Forge and damage shields are a bit more useful with Brawl. Mind Collapse on the other hand is a lot worse because it's much harder to slay with it. I wouldn't usually take a Prismal Dust, but it might be decent in this deck. Yeah, probably it's gonna be okay. Molded can bring back valuable morsels, so I will take it just so I have a way to get morsels of my choice. Shadow Eater would be good normally, but with Brawl it's gonna be pretty hard. We need to eat at least 3 morsels to kill backliner. We do have the space for that already, and we do have pretty strong morsel generation, so I think we can take it. But now I'm definitely looking for things like Morsel Maker, Morsel Master, or perhaps one of the relics that generate morsels for us. Let's get the artifact here. Yeah. Let's keep the gold for this Merchant of Magic. Yeah, that seems reasonable. Check strips are quite bad with Brawl, But the winged clippings with these packed muscles are actually pretty powerful. Also, I forgot to mention our boss is gonna be Seraph the Chaste, so he will purge our buffs. Oh, the Armageddon event. Right now we do have decent frontline damage. We do have some form of AoE clear, but it's a bit limited. We do have great defense as well. So I'm not quite sure what I actually want here. If I'm willing to pick up a Prismal Dust, then the Holiest Shield should definitely be strong. But I don't think boss killing potential is what we lack, and this is mostly a boss killing card. To be honest, I think it's the sword. The sword will help deal with larger waves. It might be the skull though. Yeah, it's actually the skull. Because the thing we have the most problem with is double frontline units. If the enemy has two frontliners, then we will have trouble getting past them, so... And also, once we upgrade it, the wing clippings could proc on it, so we might get multiple uses out in a single fight, which would be very exciting. No muscle generation in this hand. Not too happy with it. I think this is too much damage to set up the Shadow Eater. It will take 40 damage and that will make it pretty tough to get it to survive next turn. So we set up Penumbra on the top floor, even though it's not that great for score. And let's get this Crane Steward dead. And also this drag. There's a Grovel. The bomb doesn't matter, so we don't need lifesteal on the Penumbra because the damage shield, because he will just heal up by hitting Daedalus afterwards. Let's play Grovel here. And even though I kinda wanna bomb this guy with the Shadow Eater, I think it's more important that we start buffing our Penumbra immediately. So I will put these first morsels on the top floor. There's our Ember Forge, but we only have space on the bottom floor. So it won't last that long. Unless we also play a Train Sword or something in front. I think we should at least play one morsel here on the bottom. That will kill at least the front line, so we have less to worry about for next turn. The additional Ember this turn is gonna be very helpful, I think. Can't really protect. Yeah, we can protect this forge with the Train Sword. That's actually pretty useful. Grovel on this guy, because our champion still has lifesteal. We need one morsel to deal with the backliner here. The Drax would have worked as well. And we get one of the calcified embers out. Maybe we even put some drags down. Well, we definitely put some drags down. This floor is gonna be a bit annoying to clear. Penumbra will have 37 damage, which is enough to kill the front line. So we can use morsels to kill the backliner, so it should work out. Maybe I wanna have a single drag here, just so I guaranteed have some damage to deal with these guys next turn. And I'm also gonna play the Prismal Dust. It's not gonna be that important in this combat. And it got discarded instead, so we didn't even lose it. This is a nice amount of morsels. Yeah. Now we can actually heal up our Shadow Eater as well as buff our Penumbra significantly. Let's get this Calcified Ember out of here as well. I do not want to use the Skull in this fight if I can avoid it, and it looks like I can easily avoid it. This makes sure the Clergyman dies. I think I want mostly attack on this guy. Damage shield is okay too. And the Grovel can go on the bottom floor. Maybe we can save, can we? First two will kill the Train Steward with damage shields, next two will kill the drag, and then the bomb will blow up the Ember Forge. So no, we can't save the bottom floor, this is fine. That also means we don't really need that many more morsels. But I do want to hold over the Grovel anyway, so... Another damage shield, that's nice. And then let's get some health on our Penumbra. And this Mega Morsel doesn't have a target. Now we're out of lifesteal, so the Grovel is gonna be a bit more important here on the top floor to prevent some damage. I could get another morsel back with Molded. Let's use the Grovel on the top floor and see what we get. Lifesteal on a Penumbra seems nice and useful. And then we get some feeding done here on the Shadow Eater floor as well. This is already enough to kill two of these guys and weaken the others significantly. Let's use the morsel to buff up our Penumbra some more. You know what, let's keep the Crit Dust around for now. This is the final wave. I'm not gonna go for a 3-turn boss rush here, but I will go for a 2-turn boss rush, and for that I will descend Penumbra. That means we need some units here on the top floor to hold the line. Which can be this guy and a morsel. And then we can even put a morsel behind the Shadow Eater to heal it up a little bit. And finally give the Shadow Eater another damage shield. And we do have the kill here on this floor. I could try to draw into Calcified Ember, but I would not have the Ember to play it, so no point in even trying. It's only a 2-turn boss rush, but that should be okay. Shroud Spike, okay. It's gonna be great. And a Morsel Maker. I do have the capacity and not enough morsel generation, so this is actually quite helpful. And I think we want Ember. Well, we do have the Ember Forge, so still with the Shroud Spike, with the Prismal Dust, and with 2 of our units costing 2, which I potentially want to get out on the same turn if I happen to draw them in the same hand. I do want at least a 4th Ember. I will go for draw next. If we didn't have the Winged Steel as our relic, as our first relic, I probably would have taken draw there though. Wickless Tycoon should be a decent amount of money. Another holdover. I mean, I could make a free holdover molded. That will at least trigger the easily trigger the Winged Steel. Help trigger it at least. Consume removal on a pack morsels, or maybe even on a Shroud Spike. That could be fun. With the additional energy we have and we can generate, holdover on the Shroud Spike could actually be pretty good. Then let's start removing some of these train stewards for now. I think the shade splitters are still okay, because we do use a lot of gorge and have a lot of space on our floors. And I want the stronger gorge effect. It's gonna be important to me. Numbers unit gain +6 attack. That will make the units quite dangerous with the brawl on top of that. Like 17 damage on this quill marksman is pretty scary. The Molden in the first hand. I can still play it to help trigger the winged steel. These guys have haste, which is a bit of a problem. So I definitely want to set up an Umbra on the top. Shadow Eater has to go on the bottom because they won't pass the middle floor after all. And we do get 2 morsels here at least. I might have to use the skull here just to get this guy down because I won't be able to stop this wave. Yeah, I won't. It might seem wasteful to perch the skull here, but I think it's gonna be pretty important for this combat. I misplaced these morsels. The rubble morsel should have gone behind the magma morsel, then the first 2 attacks will kill the quill marksman. We do get the pack morsels here, which is very important. And also Morsel Maker can go on the bottom floor. I would like to gain the gold with the Wickless Tycoon. Yeah, I think I drew into a drag, so we can use the drag to kill the collector. That's a bit better. Yeah, let's do this. And then we can actually use 3 morsels here on the bottom floor to kill the clip conduit. And the drip fall seems unnecessary. Right now, at least. Now as long as we can play 1 morsel every turn, actually we need to tank these hits or use the Shroud Spike on the bottom floor. Which I would rather not do if I can avoid it. This is gonna be 21 health, which won't be enough to block both the hits. But we can use a drag there instead. Let's reform the Morsel Miner. And then I'm not gonna eat 3 morsels this turn because I need to block the damage from these guys. And that means the clip conduit won't die. Definitely have to feed these guys. We'll block the damage here with the Entumbra morsel so I can deal some damage to the Guardian. And I will play a Shroud Spike on this miner. So now we have the power to actually deal with big stuff. This floor is very scary though. I mean, I do see a way to deal with this floor, and that's gonna be these 2 units. It doesn't work if I Shroud Spike. Then I need to Prismal Dust the Morsel Miner so he survives. I need to Prismal Dust him for at least 2 Amber. So that means I can at least play out the Amber Forge this turn. Give this guy a damage shield and start healing him up a bit. And then we Prismal Dust the Morsel. So it survives and we can deal with the Clip Guardian with these front two units. Sadly, the Drag will now eat the Morsel, but the Drag was necessary to be in front of the Penumbra. Otherwise, the Penumbra would hit the weakened frontline guy there. Now, let's descend Penumbra, because we need to get the bottom floor kill now. This also means the Grovel will be less useful now, because we don't really have space for more morsels. But I guess we can still use it not only to apply some damage shield, but as well generate some gold here on the top floor. Ideally, this top floor guy wouldn't matter, because I will dripfall my Penumbra and kill the boss this turn. So now this turn is just gonna be morsel feeding on the top floor for extra gold. And that's that. Void Binding, Engine Upgrade, Feast. I will take a Feast. We do have a lot of morsel generation now, and we benefit a lot from being able to play 2 waves of morsel in a turn. And none of these appeal a lot to me. Card removals would be great. Unit upgrades are not that important for the units we currently have at our disposal. So let's go to the left. Let's get rid of these Crane Swords. We oftentimes don't have the capacity to play these out, despite the mention modifier. I mean, freezing a Dripfall can be very useful. Let's also get another Dripfall cost reduced, and then reroll. Consume removal on one of the pack morsels, I wouldn't mind that. Let's also cost reduce it back down to 0. And I will even purchase a card removal here. The Train Stewards are gone, so our next targets are gonna be these Drags. And we should be able to get the one calcified Ember that's remaining in the deck out this turn, this fight. Armor 15, which means our Shadow Eater is not gonna do a whole lot. Because now we would need to eat 5 morsels to deal with these guys, which is very unlikely to happen. Maybe that means I shouldn't even set up the Shadow Eater right now. Hey! Thank you for your tier 1 subscription, Elderfish Soup. Welcome to the stream and enjoy your emote in chat. Yeah, this is a pretty scary wave already. So, thinking about how to resolve this problem. Our Penumbra can only kill one of these guys at a time. And the Shadow Eater would need to eat 5 morsels, which we don't even have the capacity to do. But if we can eat 4 morsels next turn, that would already help. I will play the Shadow Eater on the second and the Penumbra on the top floor, and then I will use a Dripfall just to draw a card here. Draw 2 cards actually. Drag is not gonna help. Not at all. And I will use the Prismal Dust on this guy. We do have the capability of killing these with the Shroud Spike if we want to. Morsel Maker. Oh, I would love to set up the Ember Forge, but that's not gonna work. I need to play this now for 2 mana. I have a drag. I could use it to reform the morsel after I Shroud Spike it. Yeah, has to happen. Then we play another 2 morsels and we reform the final magma morsel, just so we can clear this first wave. And this guy still survives. Ah yeah, obviously. At least our Shadow Eater is now in a decent fighting form. He can actually deal some serious damage. Let's put the reformed morsel here on the bottom. Ah, Feast. Good thing we have that much morsel generation this hand. That makes the Feast very strong. Our Penumbra is gonna grow quite a bit. Plus 6, 24, 27, 30, 35, 37. So it's gonna be 62 power, which still won't be enough to deal with the Clip Guardian. But if these guys are alive, then we won't even get to hit the Clip Guardian. So it's difficult. If I play the Feast on the bottom floor, that means we get the Sycophants out of the way. But I think I need to start growing my Penumbra. It's gonna be more important right now. Let's bring back the Morsel Miner. Play it on the top floor. Also, let's use Grovel here. And I will use a Shade Splitter just to draw the cards right now. Shroud Spike, well, that would have made things a bit easier. I guess I have to put the morsels in the front so they can kill the Sycophant. Like that. And then we damage shield this guy. Actually, we only need 2 damage shield on him. So we can even play a Shade Splitter first. Weaken this line. And then we Prismal Dust. We won't kill the Clip Guardian, but we will deal a decent amount of damage to him. But that's still 18 damage, that's a lot. I would like to start descending, but it's too early. I can't really do that right now. Well, what I can do is descend the Wickless Tycoon. No. No, that won't be enough. It's not great. I need to kill some of these backliners at least. Maybe what I do is actually descend the Clip Defender. Ah, this is not gonna work out well for us. No, actually I think the best plan of action here. Packed morsels. Still not enough damage. These morsels don't hit hard enough. I need 2 morsels to kill one of these sycophants. Well, the morsel miner could have killed one, but... I mean, what I can do is descend one of the sycophants. So he will take the damage from the Shadow Eater again and die on this floor. And then we can actually play enough morsels here on the top floor. I need to pay attention to how I place them, because it always needs to be a Magma and an Umbra morsel hitting the same enemy. Hi Bane Williams, welcome to the stream. Glad to see you here. So, our target is to at least kill the Clip Defender, which we can do with the Morsel Miner. The Morsel Miner will have enough power to kill the frontline Clip Defender, but we also need the Grovel to protect the Morsel Miner. Then Penumbra can kill this guy, and 2 more morsels can kill the 2 backliners. And next turn we descend for these guys only hit for 5. We need at least 1 morsel that hits for more. We can actually even descend one of the morsels and play another one out. Helps a little bit. Might as well place... This self-made Harpy with Brawl is actually gonna be pretty savage. Might as well use these morsels. Might get some damage onto this guy in the front. At the very least. If nothing else. 5 damage. Yay! Now we need to dig for Dripfall. I should have kept the Dripfall in my hand, to be honest. I somehow forgot I was gonna use it, but we will have a decent chance of getting it here. Now we can even Shroud Spike. Definitely Dripfall the Penumbra, that's already enough. So the Shroud Spike isn't necessary. But man, this is close. Shroud Spike will make this a bit safer. Not actually. Well, we already have the win, so... And there's a lot of unit death here on the floor for extra gold from the harvest. So that's a good thing at least. Trample was available, but we started with so many morsel generation cards that I went for the glutton path. Cannibalize isn't bad. I'm not sure if we need it. I don't think we really need it. But it can still be helpful. Cannibalize is actually quite a solid card. And a Fatal Melting, that's gonna be very helpful. Also, with the Brawl modifier, the Trample is a bit harder to pull off, with the enemies each having more HP. I'm really looking for the double Gorge relic, so let's go to the shop. Also, the removal is... Hey, nice! The removal is also gonna be nice. These tracks are not really serving a purpose in this deck. And now the question is, do I want Mask or do I want Forever Flame? And I think I want Mask. I need extra draw. It's Sao Link. But I will accept Sao Link as well. Just not SAO Link. That's not correct. So, Fell with Armor. Now I kinda wish we had taken the Forever Flame. Same problem here, these guys are gonna be rough to deal with. I'm not sure if I wanna set up the Morsel Master right away. But I guess I do. No morsel dead his turn yet. Maybe I don't even want to play the holdover molded yet, just to draw other cards. Fatal Melting not active yet as well. This will deal with the floor, but the Grovel should help as well. And then we Shroud back here. It's gonna be enough. So we can start feeding our Penumbra. I will burn out the Prismal Dust. Okay, the double Gorge really makes this a lot smoother. And we can get a really big Penumbra this turn. A really, really big Penumbra. Do we have enough space for the morsels? We do. Yeah, I've seen Bone Dog once. Early in my beta testing time. And never again. Grovel is still better than another Ember Spent on the Shroud Spike. Especially if we're gonna get the Morsel Miner with it. I do want another morsel here on this floor to deal some extra damage to these guys. That Clanless card is from an event. I think all the Clanless cards beside Train Stewards are. And it's actually from the choose a consumable card to get from one of the clans event. We have more than enough power to kill the frontliner. The backliner needs Wick Class Tycoon and another morsel. So something like this. This Ember Forge is very hard to utilize in this deck. Let's get the Morsel Miner back for some more stats. Umbra is already big enough, basically. I would love to be able to kill this Clipped Reflector here this turn. Then I could Dripfall the Penumbra down next turn. Or something like that. I do actually have the space here for 3 morsels, so might as well do that. If I Dripfall here, this guy gains 10 armor, so we would need another 11 damage to kill him, which we can do. But first let's actually use this floor. I do want to get the Mortal Miner back. We play the Grovel. Play one of the Morsel Miners here. And we feast. Play another bunch of morsels out here. Especially the Mortal Miner. Two Umbra morsels will do. Next we Driftfall down the Penumbra. And then we Shroud Spike the Morsel Miner. Is that correct? Yep. Now we have to kill on both of these. And we can play these morsels on the top to kill the Clipped Reflector and gain some gold. Let's get these Morsel Miners. And this Fatal Melting is actually a ton of damage. We have space for another morsel here. Might as well. Get some additional gold after all. We get the Morsel Miner back another time. One more time, I mean. I guess we descend Fell. And use the Shroud Spike. So we can hit Fell with Penumbra once more. And then we feed some morsels to the top floor for gold. 6:30 AM. Oh. Man, I feel honored that you are willing to get up this early just to see me stream. That's definitely something special for me. No dripfall? Really? Hmm. That's not great. Was really hoping to get a dripfall here to kill Fell on the bottom floor. So I guess the best thing I can do is I should actually have kept the morsel. Feed this guy some more for some extra gold. And here we should have the kill no problem at all. But we can generate a lot more gold here on the top floor. Especially with Feast. Let's play pack morsels, 2 more morsels, then we feast. Then we get back all the morsels. Yeah, I had a bunch of 50k runs already. I had some even during the beta period of the game, because I was an active closed beta tester. Ah, that's so close. That sucks. But there have been a few dailies that work well. Memento Mori versus Shroud Spike. Memento Mori is a bit expensive but we do have a lot of Ember generation, so that's not a big problem. I already have a holdover Shroud Spike. Let's go Memento Mori. And I think I want draw now. Or maybe capacity. With the Winged Steel and the Mask of Penumbra I do have a decent amount of draw. An additional capacity wouldn't hurt. Yeah, the number one was under 50k. I'm not sure if I ever had a... No, I did have a 50k on stream. The Sketches of Salvation deck with Consumer of Crowns. That was definitely a 50k and I definitely streamed that one. I'm actually starting to care more about unit upgrades now that my units actually grow significantly. Not Battlestone though. Battlestone might be a bit too weak. Eternal Stone's not gonna help either. Let's reroll. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Multi-strike for the Shadow Eater, because the Shadow Eater is gonna grow pretty big after all. These small upgrades aren't really worth it right now. I would usually take these a lot more aggressively. And maybe I should actually take the Battlestone for the Morsel Maker. Just to have a little bit more damage to backliners. Something like that. We can get these Shade Splitters out of here by now. We do have better morsel generation with the holdover Grovel, with the packed morsels, and with Cannibalize. Crystal Dust still has some uses. Yeah, not interested in these. Not in the daily. Okay, let's get the final Gorge upgrade. Spikes 5, okay. These Shade Wings are gonna be a bit painful, but now with the double Gorge it shouldn't be a big problem. Hey Bane Williams, thank you for subscribing at tier 1. Welcome to the stream and enjoy your emote in chat. Let's start looking for Shadow Eater. Didn't get it. Also didn't get anything else that would be helpful here. That means we have to grow our Penumbra fast. Because he needs to be ready to face Gilded Wings. And survive 2 Shade Wings with Brawl. The damage shield morsels should help with that. I will set up the Wickless Tycoon on the top floor. We'll use the Shade Splitter to sacrifice this morsel actually. And then bring it back with Reform. So we can start growing the stats on the Morsel Jeweler. And then we need some offensive morsels for more damage on Penumbra. And this guy eats for money. Memento Mori is helpful, but this hand is very expensive, so it's a bit of a problem. Then again, we are not that far off of killing these guys naturally, so maybe I don't need to play Memento Mori here. I do want to set this guy up, and he might need some damage shield. And I guess we want lifesteal on him. I need to kill these Shade Wings as well. One damage off of killing this Gilded Wing. I guess I could place down the Morsel Maker here. It's not bad if he feeds Penumbra. Works quite well, to be honest. We do miss out on the Collector, but we will get a lot of gold. Our deck does generate quite a bit of gold after all. Let's bring back our Jeweler. One damage shield won't be enough here, but we can get more with the Prismal Dust. This guy's a bit of a problem. This guy's actually quite a lot of a problem. You know Kantai Collection? Yeah, I've been playing that game for quite a while. But not anymore. I quit about 2 years ago. Phew. So first we need to find a way to deal with these guys. Prismal Dust will prevent our Wickless Tycoon from dying. And the Morsel Jeweler can take care of the other Shade Wings. Then we have this Gilded Wing who will survive this combat with a lot of health, which is an issue. And then we have to protect our Shadow Eater as well. Yeah, it's gonna be tough. We can defend Shadow Eater with the Feast pretty easily by killing the Shade Wings and healing him up. So 2 Magma Mortals will actually be enough with the Feast to clear the floor here and heal up our Shadow Eater significantly. Then here on the top floor I actually want to play the Morsel Jeweler in front and put the damage shields on to the Morsel Jeweler. We need 3 damage shields, so I can't spend any more Ember. But this Gilded Wing is still a problem. Maybe we can Drip Fall it next turn, something like that. I don't think I need more stats on the Penumbra right now as much as I need more power for the Shadow Eater. So now our Shadow Eater is fine. Next up is saving this morsel, so we can kill these guys on the top. And then, finally we need to find a way to deal with this Gilded Wing here on the top. Fatal Melting is not gonna be enough. Let's see what we can get from these packed morsels. We do have the same problem here on the bottom floor of our Shadow Eater dying again, but Fatal Melting can solve this problem quite easily. And in fact, I should do that. And then if we Drip Fall this guy, we won't kill him, but the next floor will be empty. So we can Drip Fall him again to kill him next turn. Finally, let's place some more morsels. Let's use this molded. Hourly Hellrush style matches with leaderboards and mutators. That sounds interesting. Would be a bit similar to the Hellrush tournament I played in. And that was a lot of fun. Do we need the Drip Fall this turn? No, we don't. So I can play out the Grovel. I do want to keep growing the Shadow Eater. It's actually decently important to me. And Penumbra. Oh, he actually survives. Well, he got pretty tanky from all the reforming going on. I probably could have used that to my advantage for killing this Gilded Wing. But we managed to do that anyways. Let's get our powerful Morsel Jeweler back. 5, 13. Okay, this Shade Wings is a bit too much. But we have the Shroud Spike, so I'm not worried. Let's get some health for our dear Shadow Eater. It's a nice chunk of damage already. Let's cannibalize one of these morsels. And we managed to kill the Steel Wings at the very least. Which is important. It opens the way to dealing with the Gilded Wings. I can even protect some damage shield here. Hellrush streaks. Yeah, that could be a thing. And we Drip Fall our Penumbra to face the boss next turn on the bottom floor. Man, this combat felt like a real puzzle. Let's get maximum gold this turn. That's a good chunk of gold. Grovel, Embocage and another feast. Do I want a second feast? That's gonna be a bit too much, I think. But we do need to grow Penumbra quickly. Not a Fatal Melting, but Memories of the Melted. Memories of the Melted seems great. Oh, that... Yeah, I never had crashes on the daily challenge. So, I'm glad that didn't happen to me. I think we go to the right here. Permafrost and the Memories of the Melted would be nice, but we should manage to match up a Memories of the Melted with a Spike eventually. Another damage upgrade for the Mortal Maker. And a stat upgrade. That's not needed. Large Stone, not great. I was hoping for another multi-strike for the Shadow Eater, but we'll give it a bit of attack. It's gonna be somewhat useful as well. Mind checks. Is mind check something we care about? Not really. Commemorative Spike is pretty solid. Probably not Volatile Gorge, that wouldn't work. Commemorative Spike is a big boost here. With mind checks? Yeah, with mind checks it would be useful, but we don't really need it. Let's get the Wickless Tycoon and Prismal Dust out of here now. And then let's keep the remaining gold for score. 510, that's not bad. And now our target is to grow Penumbra quickly to deal with the Flying Champion boss. Penumbra on the top floor, Shadow Eater on the bottom floor. We cannibalize this morsel and make space for the Ember Forge. And as I said, our goal is to grow Penumbra quickly, but we also need to take care of these guys on the bottom floor as well. So we'll play at least one Magma Morsel here on the bottom floor. A feast is not useful yet. This is a lot of morsel generation, which I'm quite happy about. $60 damage. Not yet that helpful. We do have a feast though, so we should definitely feed our Penumbra as much as we possibly can. We need all the stats we can get. Now the Memento Mori should also deal a lot more damage. Not quite enough to kill this guy with the Ember Forge. Perhaps best to use it on the bottom floor to make sure this wave is clear. We do have one Ember Drain here. This would be a nice turn to use Spike on. Shroud Spike. And we do get the Shroud Spike. So that's definitely what we're gonna do here. And we even get to use it on a Morsel Miner. That's amazing. So play this one out, gain 21 Ember, and then we Shroud Spike for 40 buffs. Yeah, that's that's a good stat line. 1800 attack. 1800 attack, that's pretty neat. You know what? Let's hit Seraph for 1800 damage. This guy needs some help. This is 20 damage, so the morsel will survive. And I mean, our Penumbra is big enough now. The remaining step buffs we could give to him just don't matter in the slightest. The only thing that matters is killing the Seraph on this turn. And for that we need a damage spell. Memories of the Melted might do it. Yeah, Memories of the Melted should do it. We need a little bit of help to make that work. Help from Feast, dealing AoE damage to these guys with our Shadow Eater. Then we play Memory of the Melted. And now our Shadow Eater will kill these two frontliners. Oh, and we don't have a Descent. Why do we not have a Descent? That's a bit of an issue. Let's sacrifice the Forge. But at least this guy will be dead, so we will have a much easier time getting to Seraph to kill him. The next morsel will kill the Pyre Wings, so our Penumbra can overkill the Gilded Wings brutally. That's even almost enough damage to kill the Seraph here on the bottom floor. And here is the Seraph, ready to get taken out by our champion, Mr. Penumbra. For the 5-turn boss rush. Yeah, it might be possible to get a kill a little bit earlier. But that was pretty good, I must say. But we did miss a lot of 3-turn boss rushes early and in the middle game. So our score is not that great, but it's still decent. This challenge was a bit harder than I expected it to be, but I guess Brawl with a clan combination that makes it hard to deal with backlines is pretty rough. But I really like the Memories of the Melted with Shroud Spike combo we managed to pull off in the end to get our Penumbra up to 1800 attack. So we're at 40th place, which is okay, nothing special.